Hi everybody! This is Kaitlin here. Welcome back to Kitchen Creations with Kaitlin.
Hi, Max.
And this is my little helper Max today. Today we are going to make some bread. Yeah? Max loves to make bread because he likes the feeling of the flour. Alright, so to start, I have our yeast sitting in half a cup of lukewarm water with half a teaspoon of sugar. That has to sit for about 10 minutes to get it all active and bubbly and yummy. Other things you're going to need are sugar, more warm water, salt, oil, and flour. And then maybe a little bit of an egg at the end so that we can brush the bread with. Alright, so let's get started. Alright, so as we're waiting for our yeast to rise, we are going to put 2 cups of lukewarm water into our mixing bowl.
Now mix it up.
No, not yet. We also need to put 2 tablespoons of sugar. So we're going to find our container of sugar here.
Can I do it?
Yeah. So Max here is going to put 1. Good job. And then 1 more. Two of sugar. Let me just readjust this so you guys can kind of see this a bit better. Okay. Oh, keep your hands out, bud. And then we're going to do 2 teaspoons of salt. So we're going to change spoons. I'm going to go this way. And my container's being really tricky to open. Oh, no, full spoons. Remember when we're measuring, it's got to go all the way to the top. So there's 1.
I can do it myself.
Okay. And 2. Perfect. Good job, buddy. And then we also need 2 tablespoons of oil. So we're going to change spoons again.
Yeah.
So I am using extra virgin olive oil, which is fine. You can use, I've done it with all different kinds of oils. So sunflower oil, vegetable oil. It doesn't seem to really make a difference. This is just what I have on hand right now. So this is what I'm going to use.
Wow.
So we need 2 of these. All right, you gonna dump that in there? 1. 2. Good job.
That's brown oil.
Yeah. Now we're gonna mix all of this up. Okay, let's turn it on. Remember, you gotta keep your hands out of the mixer, right? That's really fast. Let's go slow. There we go. And our yeast is starting to bubble. This you can see. You want it to get all foamy before putting it in. It's important that if you have fast active yeast, that all of the liquids that you're putting in are warm. So you don't want them hot, just because it will burn the yeast and it won't work. And you also don't want them cold because it won't activate the yeast. So it's important that it's all warm. All right, so we're going to let our yeast rise a little bit more, and I will be back when that's done, and we will put it in our bowl. Okay, so our yeast is all bubbly and looking all ready to go in. So we're going to pour that in here, and we are going to mix up the liquids again really well. Make sure you get it all in. So that takes about 10 minutes.
Mommy, this is going to get slower.
Yeah. All right, now comes Max's favorite part. Okay, buddy. Now when we were waiting for our yeast to rise, hold on, bud. Take your hand out for a second. Max and I measured approximately 5 cups of flour into a bowl. I did this because Max enjoys putting the flour into the bowl with his hands, which is our number 1 rule, to make sure you wash your hands first. So he puts it in bit by bit. Don't dump the entire 5 cups in because sometimes you need less, sometimes you need more. You're kind of looking for a dough consistency. So when Max gets enough in there, I'm going to start mixing it around again, and we'll keep adding as we go, and I'll show you what that will look like. Okay, bud, take your time out. Mix. We're mixing it nice and slow. Try not to make your mixer go too fast. You'll have flour all over your kitchen. All right, buddy, put some more in there. Keep going. Okay, make sure it gets in the bowl, please. Okay, now we're going to mix it around again.
Stop!
Nope. Look, there's still flour there. We got to mix it. All right. Put lots more in there.
Activator will help.
Well, the excavator needs to get into the bowl here. Good job.
That's right, will help. You try will lower the activator up.
Okay, I'm just going to mix it.
A little bit more. Someone got the paper sheet. There's a little the paper sheet.
Oh, I'm just going to scrape some off the sides here. The flour's all sticking to the side.
Good. The activator will help, and the train will lift the activator up. Look, the train is lifting the activator up.
Oh, yeah?
So this is the activator arm, and this is a big activator.
Okay, well, the excavator needs to get it in the bowl so we don't.
That way cracking.
Yeah. All right, should we mix it around? One more scoop? There you go.
The activator
Good job.
Ow, I mixed it, okay? Now my turn.
Okay, you're going to turn it on? Okay, that's too high. All right, so when your dough starts to stick to the sides, or come off the sides rather, and stick to the middle or kind of move in a big clump, it's kind of ready to get your hands dirty. Max has already started doing that, but this is where we're going to move some stuff to the side. We're going to sprinkle some flour out on our counter, take it out of the bowl, and start kneading it, okay? So I'm just going to set up for that, and I will be back in a minute. All right, so before you stick your hands in to touch the dough, you're going to want to make sure you get some flour on your hands because this dough still be a little bit sticky. So you're going to want to make sure your hands are nice and covered in flour so that the dough doesn't stick too much to your hands. And then you're just going to kind of scrape the dough out of the bowl and throw it down on the countertop.
It was getting all dirty.
Yay. All right. Now, watch your hands, bud. Now you're just going to knead it. So you're taking edges, you're folding into the middle, and you're pushing down. This is really sticky yet. I prefer to take the dough out nice and sticky so that I can feel when it's done, because if you put too much flour, then your dough is not, your bread won't be as yummy. So I often take it out pretty sticky and I just work with it until it's at a consistency I like. So you're just going to keep kneading it around like this and keep adding the flour in from the sides. If you need more, you're going to need to get some more.
We need some more.
Try not to pull it apart like Max is.
I need some more. I got some more. I got some more.
All right, so I'm going to knead this, and when I'm done kneading it and adding in a bunch more flour, I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so I have finished kneading it. I added about maybe a little less than half a cup more flour to it. So about 5.5 cups of flour are in this dough mixture. It's, as you can see, it's not as sticky anymore. So that's kind of how I like it, but it's still a little sticky. So you don't want it super dry. You want it to be just a teeny bit sticky. You're gonna form it into a nice little ball, and we are going to get a bowl. I have some oil here, so we're going to put just a little bit of oil in there, about a tablespoon, just enough to grease the edges of the bowl. You are going to put your ball of dough into the bowl and kind of flip it around so that it's covered all the way around. And then we are going to get some plastic wrap. And you are going to make sure it's covered nice and tight with some plastic wrap, saran wrap, or if you do not have this in the house, you can do a tea towel or the beeswax wraps. So that is on there. And then you are going to let it sit like this on your countertop for an hour, and you're going to see it'll double in its size. So we'll come back when that is doubled in its size, and I'll show you what to do next. Okay, so we're back with our bread, and our bread has now doubled in its size, as you can see. I'm now going to remove the plastic wrap from the top of it. I have lightly dusted our work surface with a little bit of flour. Don't mind the noise in the background. My son is just playing. It's lightly dusted with a little bit of flour. I am now going to carefully remove this from the bowl. You could put a little oil on your hands if you wish. I don't, but I'm going to take it in the middle and just kind of work it to pinch it to make two separate dough batches. So now it's in two. I'm going to take one and set it aside. I am now going to roll this one out like a big long loaf, making sure that if there's any folded pieces, they're on the bottom, just that the top looks nice and pretty. You can make this as long as you wish or as wide as you wish. I have actually done this as well broken them up and put them in muffin tins for little buns. It works just as well. Once I have it as long as I would like it, I'm going to place it on a pan with some parchment paper down. So I've just rolled it out and I've placed it here. I'm going to just kind of form it a little bit. I'm going to do the same thing to the other one. All right, so now I have them both there. I'm now going to cover them with a clean towel and let them sit there for about 30 minutes. So once this 30 minutes is over, I'm going to preheat my oven to 375. I'm going to cut little slits into them And I am going to rub them with a little bit of egg and cold water, and we're going to cook them for about 25 to 30 minutes. Okay, so in 35 minutes, I will come back and show you guys the rest of that. Okay, so I have now pulled our bread out. It's been about 26 minutes. And this is what it looks like when it comes out. I've just knocked a little bit on it or tapped on it to see that it's hollow, so I know that it's cooked all the way through. This is what our bread looks like. The folds on the bottom. Those cuts are nice. I will let it now cool on the wired rack. When it's done cooling, if you're not going to eat it right away, I take one loaf and wrap it up really tight and put it in the freezer, and the other loaf I wrap up and put in our bread cupboard, and we will eat it throughout the week. All right, so I hope everybody stays safe and enjoys this bread making video. I will see you the next time. Bye.